very excited to be back. I mean, it's good to be here, and we've been having some very positive feedback.
Yeah,
And
people have been reaching out to us to ask questions
mhm.
about basically the relationships and all of that, and it's good to hear from you. It's good to
Yeah.
to have like Mama, you've been having one-on-one sections with
Mm.
people, and if you would like to book that one-on-one
And I'm thinking
section,
of charging soon.
if you
I'm
would
thinking
like
of
to
charging
just
soon. Just
drop
a
a
joke, yeah.
message in the comment box, and would reach out with an email that you can send a message to, so
Mm.
that you have access to us. So today we're going to be talking about one important question, which is something we have been dealing with for the past weeks.
Mm.
And the question is, who should I marry?
Yeah. Yeah.
Who should I marry? So um it's just that, as a beautiful young man, that you can't be
Beautiful
beautiful.
young man. Come on, baby. As a beautiful young woman, handsome man.
As a beautiful young woman and an handsome man, I'm sure that most time people are faced with the dilemma, which is a good dilemma in actually, of who should I marry. So you have like three successful men trying to ask for your hand in marriage. For me, before I even got married, I had one, two, three, four.
Mm.
Those stars asking me
Wow.
out at the same time before I even met him. But because I have an idea of the things that were important to me, I was able to know that those ones were not the right people to marry. And it's not like they were nobodies, it's not like they were not Christians and all of that. It's just that I just knew that a relationship with them will not work out. Now, the funny thing is that I did not have a metric that will say, oh, that I was using. It's just instinct. I'll just look at you, have conversations with you, and like, I don't think we are compatible, or I don't think a relationship will work out, or I don't think I'm supposed to marry you. And even if they ask that, oh, so why are you saying no to me? I just say that I can't say that this is the reason, but I just know. But now that I'm married and I've had conversations with singles, I've read books and all, I knew that, well, even though it's instinct, it's based on some things that I've read about, and that just help me to be able to filter out those things. Even with my instinct, I know that this cannot work, but it's good to talk about it, and that's why we're talking about it on our channel today. Yeah.
Yeah. Just as she said, that's what we're talking about is on our channel today. A lot of questions coming around. Even guys are recent to me. Should I marry? Should I marry this lady?
Yeah.
This, that. We felt that it's something we really need to to look at. Who should I marry? I would say from my own experience, and and then you are not the only hot cake. I also had people too that wanted to date me too. Girls, guys, that is it. I also had people too.
It's all cake
Girls
for
always
you.
believe that it's only them that people used to toast and
Did
say
I
hi
say that I
to.
believe
But
that? I
that's
did
not
not say
true.
that. Did I say that?
I'm just saying that we guys also have people that are. I had people, maybe not up to four or something
No, they're
in
like
my,
10 or 50.
in my. I'm no, not like that. So, but anyway, you get what I'm trying to say.
We're going to share our story
Very soon, yeah,
in
yeah, in
October.
October, yeah,
So
we'll be
be
clocking
on
one.
the we're going to be doing our anniversary this October, that's coming soon. So be on the lookout for our story. So we are
So in
diverting.
sorry. So the first thing I would like to say in trying to know who to marry is the place of faith. I will start from that. I would say,
Spirituality.
is he a child of God? All right. Is he born again? If you are a Christian, is this guy or this lady born again? All right. Do you share the same view? It might not be the same, but is it complementing? All
Yeah.
right. So because if you attend even certain churches, for example, and you marry somebody that at the church you attend, her belief system, faith entirely is different from yours, you guys might struggle. All right.
Yeah.
So I would want to say the first thing you need to look at also is around, is this person a Christian? Is this person born again? Is
Number
this
one.
person are saved? All right,
Yeah.
because people can go to church and yet they are not saved. All right,
Yeah.
this is very important, and you mustn't joke with that, because I believe strongly that man in himself is selfish. Man in himself, the
Someone is calling me. Of sin.
combining.
Yeah.
All right. So what I'm saying is that the person should be saved. All
Mm,
right.
yeah.
The person should encounter Jesus. Are very important. Because I believe that it is God in men that
Yeah.
make men to be good.
Yeah.
No matter how one want to
How
show you
moral the
certain things, you
person
get
is.
it. But knowing God, we really, really make the person's life beautiful, because the person will keep seeing that the standard is Christ and he needs to push on to get
Yeah.
to that stage, which is Christ. So
That's like the foundation.
yeah,
That foundation. And then one thing I want to add to what you just said is that even beyond being a Christian, you have to consider your religious beliefs system. For example, both of us are Christians, right? But some don't speak in tongues in their church. Some don't believe in wearing trousers, earrings, and all of that. So the question is, if you marry that kind of person, even though you love each other, you might struggle because you will do something and the person will feel like this thing is a sin. Why are you doing it? And then it might just be like it will just be to not make it very smooth. Like for me now, I attend DL Deeper Life, yeah, and my husband does not. But even in at that point, we still meet based on spiritual beliefs. If it was someone that likes his wife to be heavily makeup, wear jewelries and all of that, I'm sure we would probably not be compatible. Do you get? But somehow we found a middle way that is making our marriage work for us. So even beyond the parts, the point of the person being a Christian, you have to understand that do you have the same spiritual belief. If the person attends C&S, and you attend a conservative church, the question is, will you want to go to his church after marriage, or will he want to come to your church after marriage, or do you want to go to different separate churches, which is not advisable because you just give birth to children that are confused about their spiritual identity. So that's something you might want to look at. Do we have the same spiritual belief system? Yeah.
yeah. So that's very, very, very important to note. The second thing I will want to say that it's very important is the voice of God. This is not a cliche. We are going to look at other things, but I feel it's important. When I mean the voice of God, also I also mean the voice of your spirit, because when people talk about the voice of God, it's like we hear one audible voice somewhere. Not many
Yeah.
of us are going to hear audible voices, but there is a voice called the voice of conscience within you on your inside, that brings that level of conviction within your heart. So when I say the voice of God, one other thing there is your conviction, the conviction in your heart,
About that person.
about that
Yeah.
person. All right, how convinced are you? So let me say this, that I used to tell people that whenever you are trying to think about a guy or a lady to marry, and then there is too much of thought in your heart, that you start having so much disbelief. If the
Doubts.
person doubt, if the person is not, you over calculate things, you overthink things, you have several concerns about the person, that
Yeah.
you feel that, oh, because of
Maybe it
this,
will
because of
change.
that, no, maybe she will change. You need to really, really you
Look
need
at
to
it.
really look at it. You need to really watch it. Those are ways that God speaks to us. Those are green lights, those are red light. When people jump into certain things, so many times as children of God, we get green light, we get red light, but we most times do not try to listen to it. So listen to your spirit man, listen to the voice of your conscience, listen to those convictions that you have on your inside. When fear begins to come in, then you need to look at it, because the spirit of God is a spirit of love and not of fear.
Yeah.
He gives us is a spirit that helps us, that is of love and of sound mind, but not of fear. So when you begin to see too much of fear, you need to have a rethink and say, is this really it? All right. So the voice of God, the voice of conscience is very important
Very
when
important.
making choices. Yeah, babe.
What I would say is time. Give it time.
Mm.
So when you have someone that you have people that are asking you out and you're finding it very difficult to decide, you might just tell them that I can't be committed to you right now, but then just build friendship with them. The reason is that before you jump to make a commitment, time is like a tester of people one way or the other. even though they are trying to like bring their best leg forward at some point, you get to know who they really are, how they behave when they are angry, how they behave when they are sad, how they behave when they are happy, how they behave when they are depressed, so it's like when the Bible says the fruit of the spirit is a fruit, it will show at some point. So time should be a very important factor you consider while deciding on someone you want to marry. So you don't just meet someone today, hi, hello, and then tomorrow you have decided that, oh, this is the person you want to marry, and then 2 weeks time you've gone to the altar. The thing is that the same way you rushed in, that's the same way you are going to rush out. So let time work for you. Like, let time be the tester of character, so that you get to really know the person, and you know the kind of person you are getting married to. Yeah.
Yeah, thank you. So time is important, as my babe has said. Another thing I would say is you need to look at your compatibility. When we talk about compatibility, a lot of times what comes into people's mind is sex. Are we sexually compatible? But no, I'm not even going to look at that. Sex is a very important topic, but I think that should not be the focus when you are trying to choose who
Yeah.
should be your partner. Someone to, is she sexually, what's her sexual prowess? Like, how strong is she? How good is she on bed? You know, I mean, that is not all about that. I'm not saying sex is not important, but sex alone do not keep marriage. If sex can keep marriage, then so many prostitutes should have been married. They should have. So let's not go too much
Yeah.
into that. But what I'm saying is that when I talk about compatibility, I'm talking about how you connect in terms of your purpose, in terms of your values, in terms of your pursuit. These things look like they are not important, but they are important.
Yeah.
You want to build a career, or she wants to build a business, or you want to even build a career in this sector, or you are somebody that is chasing after growth and the
Yeah.
other person is not chasing after growth. You are trying to build a career, but the person is just so complacent. You are trying to chase after excellence in all you do, but this person does not even care. You are passionate about self-development. You want to grow. You want to become a global figure, a global phenomenon, but you can't see that in this person. I'm not saying she,
Yeah.
she or she should be there, but you can't see that hunger. You can't see that thing in him or her. There is no need of trying to deceive yourself out of feelings. I must say that when making choices, you must go beyond your feelings.
Yes.
You need to be sincere with yourself. Look at the person the way the person is. Look at the things the person is interested in and some of the
Yeah.
things this person is chasing after. Ask yourself, if they do not change and they do not do this, will I be able to continue,
With them.
right, with that? So you need to talk. You need to look at that. How compatible are you? You want to grow career. You want to do this. What is the person's pursuit? Some ladies want to become a full-time housewife.
And
Are
they are
you
okay with
looking, and
that.
they are okay with that? Are you looking for a full-time housewife? All right. You possibly wants to become a pastor. Does she looks like somebody that is going to be a wife of a pastor?
And is ready to
Thi-
support you.
and ready to support you. These are conversations that you need to make. Somebody might be good. She might be good for to be a wife of a pastor, and someone might be good and still be good not
Why
to go
not to
through
be
that
that? That's
path.
why even as a
Okay.
girl, you have to ask yourself, do I want to be a pastor's wife? This person that is asking me out, that looks like he has the call of God in his life. Can I
So
be a pastor's wife? So those are the things you have to consider to be able to make that decision.
yeah, so we just brought pastor out, but it could be anything. Do you get what I'm
Yeah,
trying to
or
say?
someone that travels and is not always
Mm-hmm.
at home. You have to be at. I'm saying from the lady's perspective, you
Yeah.
have to be at home with the children. Are you okay with that? If your husband is a very ambitious person, there's very a high possibility of maybe he has to travel, and then he might not always be at home and all of that. So is that something you want to consider based on his job, whatever his job description is? So, and then the next, do you still have something to say?
Yeah, on that too, in terms of that compatibility, you need to look in terms of values like humility,
Yeah.
values like sincerity, values
Okay.
like diligence, values like hard work, all right? Values like finance, like how the person manages
Management.
money and look at the concept of money. These are important
Some people
things, all
cannot
right?
sleep if they have money in their account.
So you need to look at that. Be sure that you are compatible. Be sure. I'm
Yeah.
not saying that the person must be you. Some people will say opposite people attract. I don't believe in that when it
No.
comes to marriage.
No.
I believe that if you guys are the same, it has a way of attracting. I'm not saying you must be the same,
We are
but
not the same though.
yeah, but there should be a level of
A meeting
a
ground.
meeting ground where you both complement.
Yeah, and then on this compatibility, I want to say that don't let money be your motivation. I'm talking to ladies now. And men too. Don't let money be your motivation, because they used to say that you can marry someone without television but has vision. Abi, his vision will put him inside the television. I'm paraphrasing, but you get the point. So if some people have money and they are going to treat you with a lot of disrespect just because they married you because they have money, you know. So based on that, you have to first of all, I'm not saying don't marry someone that is poor. No, I'm saying don't let money be the motivation. So if this person you are asking out, that is asking you out, is caring, is a Christian, you know that it's going to be a good husband material, it's going to be a good father to your kids and all of that. The only challenge is just that he does not have a good job, you know. The truth is that he's not always going to be where he is right now. You don't know where he will be 2 years from now, you don't know where he will be 3 years from now, you don't know where he will be 5 years from now. So you should ask yourself, is this man hardworking? You know, is he trying to, what is he doing about his current situation? Is he trying to build a business and the business is not yet forthcoming, but he's putting all of his activities to it? Or is he someone that just spends all his time watching Netflix and saying, oh, there's no job? Do you get? So that's what will let you know about the kind of person he is. Is this someone that just with you giving him a little bit of support is going to get out of that non-financial situation? Do you get? So the basic thing is, don't let money be your motivation. Some people can be rich and they will treat you like a piece of furniture in the house, or because they know that they bought you with money, so they are not going to respect you, they are going to just treat you anyhow in that marriage. Because and you, shebi, it is you that you like money, go and be crying inside the Range Rover now. So you have to just think about that. Don't let money be your motivation.
Yeah, so I think she already mentioned the next thing I wanted to look at, which is around financial stability.
Yeah.
I'm not saying that the person must be super rich, but I believe in financial stability when you
Okay.
are trying to talk about who to get married to. As she said, at least it shouldn't be somebody that is totally jobless. Even if he doesn't have a job, he should be making moves in order to
Yeah.
start something. The same thing with the lady too. I expect that you should be doing something, I expect that you should be productive. If you don't have a job, try to start a small hustle somewhere or something like that you're doing. But I believe that money is needed to run the relationship, plan for the marriage, and to run a home. So, in terms of talking about who to marry, you shouldn't marry somebody that is idle. I expect you to marry somebody that is productive with his time, somebody that is doing something that you can see him on that path to build financial, and you can also see that the person has a level of financial intelligence. Okay, that is very, very
Yeah.
important. Another thing I want to say is that when you want to look at who to marry, also you need to look at somebody that is emotionally intelligent.
Oh.
Very important, because these days we have a lot of babies. You can't just say, oh, emotions. You just, like, if you marry someone that reacts on everything just based on how they feel and just emotions alone, then there will be problem. How
Yeah.
do you know an adult or somebody that is matured? Look at how they relate. He's angry and the next thing is slapping you.
Okay.
He's
Not.
angry and the next thing is kicking you. He's angry and the next thing she's carrying something to stone you.
Hey,
She's angry
Jesus.
and the next thing she's tearing your shirt in the public. And then you
God.
say, oh,
But I love her.
I love him, I love her. I'm not saying people don't get angry. There's nothing bad about getting angry. But how do you react
When
when you
you're
get angry?
angry,
All right.
yeah.
So emotional intelligence. Some people are not, they can't control their emotions at all. They talk anyhow. Any little thing, they are already broken down, crying. I'm not saying it's bad to cry, but what I'm saying is that how do you respond to things
Yeah.
emotionally? All right, because you guys are looking at getting married. You are adults. Things are going to happen. Situations are going to happen. You could lose your job. Things might not be working well in your job. Now, do you allow the emotions of what you are feeling at your job to determine how you come to react with your wife? All right. And when you are hot, somebody talks to you or something outside, and how do you come in and you are still able to control yourself? Because, see, as you get into it, your partner could say something silly to you mistakenly or intentionally, I don't know, but you could hear something silly from her or from him. And then
Yeah.
you're like, why do you need to talk to me like that and stuff? If you are not being careful, and you don't learn to control your emotions, you might react from that particular emotion. The same thing even when it comes to sex too. It's an emotional thing. So if you don't learn how to control your body, you might still be married and still be chasing after somebody outside. So
Yeah.
the fact say, oh, and now it's because we are still dating, he's not married to me. That is why he has some girlfriends and they are still doing some things around.
Nah.
Is he not a human being? Is he not a human
Nah.
being? It's not like that. If he cannot control it now, there is no probability that he might. So emotions is very important. The way you react to things, the way even in your body, the way you respond to things, you need to see that level of emotional maturity, that level of the person being mentally and psychologically matured. This is very important because
What?
marriage is a lot of mental and psychological thing, dealing with people,
Yeah.
dealing with a person for the rest of your life. So if you are not matured in that way and you just do anyhow and talk anyhow, trust me, the person might not make a very good spouse eventually. So you need to look at that. How does he or she respond to things? Very important, and when things are not working, don't start saying, I don't want to hurt her because I heard things like that. I don't want to walk away because I don't know how she'll feel. I understand, but you need to sit her down, talk to her, sit him down, talk to him. This thing is not working out. This is what I'm seeing. I expect some changes. If you are not seeing it, don't continue based on assumption. Yeah.
Yeah. So, okay. So the next point we're going to talk about is love. To determine the person you're going to marry, it should be someone that you are attracted to. It. So it should be someone that makes the butterflies in your
Mm,
belly to be flying,
amazing.
and then that you can't stop thinking about. You want to always talk to them. You don't get tired of that. So it should be like an underlying factor.
Mm.
So if it's like if you have so many people and you're just thinking, well, based on the previous ones we've talked about, then just like an icing on top of the cake should be someone you really, 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 really like, someone you're attracted to, someone you like talking to, someone that makes your heart go jim 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 jim.
Thank you. So attraction is very important, as she said. Don't become so spiritual than the Holy Ghost, and that you feel that, oh,
Whoa,
I don't.
whoa,
Attraction
which
is important.
one?
Be attracted to her. If you
Can
don't,
you be
if you
spiritual and Holy
I'm
Ghost?
just saying, be attracted to the person. Don't say, oh, sister, the Lord told me you are my wife, and as a result of that, that is why I'm here. It's good. The Lord
Yeah,
has told you, but
but
come on, you need to see that,
is she
okay,
making your heart
do you
jim
get it?
jim?
So that attraction is there. It's the passion and the fire that will sustain the marriage, that will
Yeah.
keep you coming back home, keep you wanting to see her over and over and
And
over
when you
again.
agree with her, will
Mhm.
make you want to say, your head is big, but I love you. Big
Uh,
head.
so another thing I'll say, she mentioned briefly, I have two more points to share quickly, is communication. Very important. I must be somebody that you can talk to. I mean,
Okay.
there should be a flow of communication. You can have somebody in your life that you are not free to talk to or free to gist with. That shouldn't be the kind of person you want to say you want to end up with. You are not free with this person. You even have other girls outside that you talk freely to, but this girl, when you are around her, you are not free. Or this guy, when you are around him, you are not free. You can't talk about everything, or
Yeah.
things, or you are just forming when you're around the person. You need to be careful, because this is somebody you are going to be with for life. It's expected that he or she should be your best friend. All right. So communication is very important, because it's the life wire of any marriage or relationship. Is this person free in talking to you? Do you guys get to talk about things, being open to things? So if in times of choosing who, when you look at the people around you, you need to ask yourself, which one do you really flow with, communicate with? Which one do you really, there are people that you can talk to for 3 hours, 4 hours, you are still talking. But when
Wow.
I had, this time
Yes,
before
Chapo.
before I met her, then there were ladies that come, that talking to them 15 minutes or 10 minutes or 5 minutes, you're already feeling somehow,
You're
you are
tired.
feeling awkward, you are tired. And you give them a million and one reasons why you didn't pick their call, why you didn't call them back. That's to tell you that something is wrong. And for you too, if somebody is giving you too much of that excuse, that's to tell you that come,
Person
the
not
person
like
might
you
not
like
like
that
you. The
too.
person might have somebody that is being very much attracted to. And lastly, I will want to say prayer. The
Yeah,
law of prayer and counseling, very, very important. Counseling is important. Prayer is important. I'll say counseling because the Bible says in the multitude of counsel, there is safety.
yeah.
Sometimes you have gone through all these principles and yet you are so confused. I will say, you know what?
Just
Seek
pray about
counsel,
it.
seek counsel from someone matured, someone you believe in, someone more experienced, someone you believe has value that can give you and have the Spirit of God and even experience that can direct you, because you can't go wrong seeking for counseling with the right people. And then pray, just pray about things. You are confused, pray. You are about starting the relationship, pray.
Yeah.
Even now that I have not met the person yet, keep praying. Pray for the person, speak into the person's life, trust God, so that when you meet the person, you just know that this is the person. That sensitivity will be there. That is what prayer helps. Prayer helps to even destroy the one that are not meant to be.
Oh,
Anyone that is trying to disturb your life too much, you say go, go, they are not going. You can use prayer to push them off, and use prayer to call the right ones into
oh,
being. By
glory.
prayer, you call those things that are not into reality.
Oh,
All
wow.
right. So we hope that this video has blessed you and you've learned so much. Please share with somebody, and
Yeah.
then let's hear from you some of the actions and the things you did that gives you clarity on who should be your partner, who should be your wife.
Don't forget to drop comments in the comment section. We like hearing from you. And then, like you said, what worked in your own relationship that you were able to know that this is the person that you've married, you're supposed to marry, and then how has it been so far? And if you are single or in a relationship, what made you sure that this is the person supposed to marry? We'll like to hear from you.
Yeah, thank you, and subscribe.